Okay, DataWeave. See, DataWeave mostly they will not be asking you to theoretical questions at this point of time. Okay, mostly they will ask you to share your screen. Okay, and then they'll ask you to write the script. They will give you the input, they'll give you the response, and they will ask you to write the script exactly. But you should have the knowledge of all the things to write the script first exactly. So theoretically I have kept the questions here. Okay, all theoretical questions. And for practice, what I will try to do, I will try to give you around 10 to 20 questions with the scripts exactly. You can practice it on the playground or go to your studio and then you can play it there. Okay, it will take a lot of time to explain each and every script and all. What I'll try to do, I'll try to keep the questions 15 to 20 questions which are mostly asked in the interviews. Okay, that questions you can practice it exactly. But for doing that you need certain knowledge, right? Okay, for that reason obviously you need the knowledge of this particular topic. Now first question will be, how do you rate yourself in DataWeave out of 10? Okay, what would be the ideal answer? If you say 9 or 10, they expect too much, right? Generally, if you tell 5 or 4, okay, they see that you are not confident at all exactly. Okay, in that instances 7 is the ideal case. Okay, 7 is a viable option for us as well as for them also. Okay, even if they ask me in the interview, I will tell 7. Okay, I will tell 7. I'm having knowledge and I can do that exactly. Okay, fine. Next question will be, sometimes finally in the last phase of DataWeave exactly, they may ask you, what are the complex DataWeave transformations you have written so far? I'll try to identify 2-3 scenarios and I'll keep them. Okay, now I haven't prepared any answer for it exactly. Okay, otherwise based on our experience, for example, like we have faced some database scenarios exactly, we should be ready. See, there may be some questions like this: what are the challenges you faced in this particular project? Recently when I attended my client interview, okay, in the same company for a new client, they asked me, what are the challenges recently you faced, please list me 3-4 exactly. I was prepared and I have told them exactly. After explaining one itself, they stopped me, they went to the next question. They wanted 2-3 basically, but I explained one. I was elaborating that, and they moved to the next question saying that okay, they are confident that this guy has faced some challenges and then he's able to answer that exactly. Okay, that way you also have to have some DataWeave transformation challenges, whatever you have faced, maybe whatever we have faced, some medium level to complex level, not very easy ones exactly. Okay, some medium level to complex ones. What I will try to do here, I'll try to keep some 2-3 challenges and then I'll incorporate here. Based on that, you can frame your answer and you can tell them. Is that okay? Okay, next, they may ask you, explain flatten function. Okay, if they generally don't, if they don't ask to share your screen, immediately there will be 3-4 questions or 5 questions on DataWeave for sure. Okay, without DataWeave, most probably nobody will complete the interview. Okay, for that reason obviously we need to have understanding of all these. Generally what I try to do, I wanted to execute everything and show, but it will take a lot of time. That is the reason I'll just walk through the answers exactly. Now flatten takes the input array function and flattens the first level of subarrays, omits empty subarrays. If there are any empty subarrays in the first level, it will delete that also and outputs an array. Okay, people will say generally flatten takes the input array and it will flatten the first level of subarrays, that's it. Okay, that is also okay, but still you can tell it as input as array, output as array, and it is flattening and it will remove the empty arrays first level of, you should tell first level. If there is an array, inside array again another array, it will not flatten that exactly. Only first level of subarrays will be flattened exactly. Flatten takes the input array and flattens the first level of subarrays, omits empty subarrays if there are any, and outputs the array. Next, explain distinctBy function. Okay, distinctBy is used to remove duplicates from an array or an object. It iterates over an array and outputs the unique values. It iterates over an object and outputs unique value key value pairs. Exactly. Syntax here. I have given 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4. Distinct by value. The output is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Only unique values received here. Okay. If you see here, this is not required. Okay. The same syntax I can write this way also. Here I use dollar, here without dollar. Dollar means what actually? Value, right?
Current value.
Okay, fine. Now, this is the input for object. A is the key, 5 is the value. A is the key, 5 is the value. B is the key, 6 is the value. This is a JSON object. Now, payload distinct by, see here. What is the value you are receiving? It removed the duplicate key value pair, right? Got it? See here. Okay, you can try it out exactly. Okay, fine. Now, how to skip a specific key value pair from a JSON object in DataWeave. For example, there is a JSON object. I wanted to remove a one key from it. What is the syntax? This one. This is also mostly asked question exactly. If I show everything, it will take a lot of time exactly. That is the reason I'm not showing. See, this is JSON object, right? I wanted to remove the key name. How to do that? Payload minus okay, right? It is removed. Next, so this is the syntax. Now explain split by, or how do you convert string to array? Split by. See, split by splits a string into a string array based on the regex pattern mentioned exactly. What happens? You will mention the pattern here, for example, like space or whatever it is, and it will form the array. Whatever, for example, like here. This is string, right? Split by, I didn't give a space exactly. Okay, empty. It means that every character has been splitted. If I give space, hello world. See, hello has been separated by old one, and it has created a array. Okay, fine. That's what split by exactly. And here's the pattern. You wanted to mention the pattern here. Here, I've used directly pattern. You can use this forward slashes also. Inside that, you can mention the pattern exactly. Okay, fine. Now, explain lookup function, or how do you call a flow from DataWeave. Okay, see, the question can be explain lookup function, or can you call a flow from a DataWeave? Exactly. Now lookup is used as an alternative to flow reference exactly. Lookup is used to call a flow or a private flow from DataWeave. You cannot call a subflow. It cannot call a subflow. What is the fun? They may ask you the syntax also sometimes. What is that? Mule lookup flow name input timeout in milliseconds. What is that exactly? Flow name means what? To which flow you wanted to refer for. Okay, that flow name. And then what is the input? You need to send the input, right? to that particular flow. If flow reference means whole mule event will be propagating. What is that? Variables, attributes, and payload. But here you need to pass whatever you wanted to, maybe a variable, maybe a payload, whatever you wanted to do, whatever you wanted to send or propagate, that has to be passed here. And what is this timeout? If that particular flow has not given the response within the specified time limit here, okay, it will go for timeout exactly. Default, if you don't mention, 2 seconds. Is that clear? Okay. It is used when we want to map a specific field exactly. For example, okay, one specific field has to be mapped with a payload of other flow. At that point of time, we'll go for lookup exactly. Got it? See, there may be so many questions here, 3-4 questions. Can you call a subflow with the help of lookup function? No. What is the default time? 2000 milliseconds. Okay. And what are the parameters you can pass as a pass to a lookup function? Flow name, input, and timeout exactly. Okay. These are the possible questions where you can understand exactly. But see, I suggest you people to practice each and everything. Whatever I discussed in this particular page, right? All functions. Try to do it in AnyPoint Studio or DataWeave Playground. Okay, fine. Now, what are read and write functions? Give one example when you have used it. Read function, write function. Okay. What happens is, I have used one time in my database, I think whenever it is related to a database exactly. See, what happens is, I'll tell the definition first. It reads, I am talking about read. Reads a string or binary and returns parsed content. Okay, and returns parsed content. This function is useful when the reader cannot find the content type by default. What does it mean? See, this is, what is this exactly? JSON object.
Yes.
What is this now? String, right?
String.
String, right?
Hmm.
But inside,
Yes,
what is it?
JSON object.
JSON object. Now, there are certain instances, data will come like this. Got it? Now, see here, read of, this is the function exactly. Maybe sometimes some functions will not work on what? Playground exactly. Okay, for that reason, this is the syntax. What you should do? You are reading the payload, okay, and what is the underlying media type? Application JSON, and you are mentioning it here. You got it? Got it? You may get the binary content also. Here, all JSON content is there, and we know that is the reason we are trying to do this. See, when we go for this exactly, one example I'll tell you. This, there is a JSON object or JSON related data. I wanted to insert that particular total object into a column of a database, relational database, RDBMS exactly. Now, JSON object will not be allowed by that particular database. What I will try to do? I will try to stringify that. Stringify means I'll convert that into string and then I'll insert. What happens? It will add one double quotes in the start, one double quote at the end, and then it will get inserted into the table with the help of what exactly? Write function. Okay, with the help of write function, I'll try to convert that into string. Underlying data type is application JSON. I'm telling that exactly. Okay, write. If you see the function, see here, write payload application JSON. When inserting the database data into the database. Now I wanted to extract the response from database for that particular field. I took the response, but I'll receive it as string, right? How can I use that? If I wanted to use, I'll use the read function. Then it will be converted into from string to JSON. Okay, got it? Any questions here? This is also rarely asked, but still it's very, very important kind of thing. Exactly.
So what about if come the data multi-form instead of that double?
Which one?
The
Again,
source as a
that see,
multi-form data.
multi-form data, most probably you can tell them, I don't have experience till now, I haven't encountered, and you can tell that exactly. Otherwise, what you can try to do, there is again a separate, again, you have a lot of tutorials, blogs, or you can go through that and you can work on it exactly. What is multi-form data? Exactly. Whenever you wanted to send different kind of content in the request exactly, then we will use multi-form data. And it is a rare requirement. It is a rare requirement, and even till now I have conducted more than 150 plus interviews. I haven't asked a question exactly because it is a rare requirement. If it, see, after going inside you will get a requirement. If you get that also, you can go through that, you can tell them I haven't worked on multiform data till now. Even in my experience I got only one time the chance to work on it. At that, till now, even now I didn't remember that exactly. I did it long back, around 3 years back, or 2.5 years back exactly. Okay, now also again I have to go back, I have to read that and then again come back and explain. Got it? So it is a rare requirement. Obviously, whenever there is a requirement for handling different formats of data, right, you will have multiform data. Maybe you need to send a file to a different system. Okay, in those kind of instances you may go for it exactly. Is that clear? Okay, fine. Now if it is XML, it's fine. Whatever the content you are trying to convert, that it will try to convert that and send it back exactly. But most of the time, 80 to 90% of the time, projects will be handling JSON data. That is the reason I have taken the JSON example exactly. Okay, fine. Now next, explain filter and filter object. Okay, what is filter? Filter function iterates over an array and matches the values with expression and outputs the array. See, whenever you wanted to filter some values from an array, okay, then you can go for filter. Whenever you wanted to filter some values based on the on an object, then you can go for filter object. Okay, what is the input for filter? Array. What is the output? Array. What is the input for filter object? Object. What is the output? Object. Okay, be clear with that. That's it. There may be question like what is the difference between filter and filter object. At that point of time also you can answer this way exactly. Okay, next, explain reduce function. Even reduce is also very, very important. Okay, see, it is used to do any computation while iterating on an array. What is the input for this? Reduce works on array. Okay, input should be array exactly. And array to object is also possible via reduce operator. Whenever you wanted to convert an array to an object, what function you have to use? Reduce exactly. Okay, there are two useful things exactly. You can do some computation or you can convert the array to object exactly. See, it will iterate for the number of elements in array minus 1 exactly. It will try to iterate whenever you wanted to do the computation, right? In those instances, you can go for this exactly. And see here, dollar is item, accumulator is double dollar exactly. Okay, and if accumulator is not initiated, it will take the first element of the array. Item will take the second element. If accumulator is initialized, the item will take the first element of the array. Okay, see here 2, 3. Reduce item accumulator equal to 4. Accumulator equal to 4. We have assigned accumulator, right? Now what happens? It will try to do that and you will receive 9 as the output exactly. It will try to compute. I told 4, right? Okay, it will what to say? Iterate for 3 times exactly, and then it will receive the response. Okay, try this reduce exactly. Okay, it will take at least half an hour to 1 hour to understand reduce and then do that exactly. And reduce is also very very important. In two instances we'll be utilizing. One is for converting the array to object, the other one is whenever you want to do iterate and compute some values, right? In that instance also you can go for reduce function. Okay, for trying out multiple scenarios, right? It will take some time. Try to do that exactly. Okay, fine.